We're gonna spend the night in our van-ish RV down by the river, so let's head out on an adventure. It is boondocking adventure day. We are loaded up, we're about to leave the house, and we are headed to Cherokee National Forest, hoping to find a nice campground along Citico Road. Things did not go incredibly smoothly today. We had a little bit of a mishap with our steering stabilizer, and by mishap I mean it liberated itself from our frame. Luckily it was less than a half a mile from our house, so it's not like we were going fast or anything. We were able to pull off into a parking lot and just take the whole thing off. It did drag a little bit, and so I guess when I get home, I'm gonna email eTrailer and hopefully they'll replace at least the part that dragged, if not the whole stabilizer. We're not sure what went wrong with it, but if we figure out exactly what happened, we'll definitely make another video, because I already made a video about installing the steering stabilizer and then it fell off, which is not a YouTube best practice. I want to be transparent with you guys, and when things go wrong, which they do, we'll let you guys know what happened. So after the steering stabilizer fell off, we got out here to the National Forest, and the road was definitely safe and passable, but there are huge potholes and holes. Even in the paved portion of Citico Road, there are giant potholes, and the gravel portion is even worse. So we had to take it really slow down Citico Road. There are 12 designated campsites along the creek, and we got from 1 through 9 and they were all full, and so we came back to an established campground. This is actually supposed to be an equine campground. They have spaces for horses, they have turnouts and stalls, but it is completely empty and it's very quiet and it's shaded. So we're not boondocking, but we are dry camping in an established campground. It is not free, unfortunately, but it's only $15 a night, which is not too bad to get out here in the quiet away from everything. So we got the rig parked in what seemed like the best site in the campground. We got the dogs out and immediately realized that we were right next to the pit toilet, which has not been cleaned in a very long time. So we moved spots to the furthest away from the pit toilet. We still have a decent amount of shade, and I'm a little bit happier with there not being a bunch of really large trees and big branches hanging over the RV. You do need to look out for what's called widow makers when you boondock, and those are big branches that have already cracked off the tree that are suspended in the other branches and waiting to fall down. But we've made it, we've had a snack. We're going to go down to the water and let the dogs play in the water and let me play with rocks. And then we'll have dinner. So we had a really nice dinner, and before it gets dark, just a real quick recap. So the plan was to boondock out here in Cherokee National Forest, and instead we drove around on potholes for an hour. Our steering stabilizer fell off less than a half a mile from home. We broke off the little hat that goes on the exhaust for the bathroom. We did not find a boondocking campsite. We ended up on an established campsite that has no hookups for $15 a night. Sometimes things just don't go exactly how you plan, and that really is a part of RVing. I want to be transparent about our adventures with you, that you can have really good intentions, you can have planned really well and have 12 different options laid out before you, and sometimes you just have to go with the backup plan to the backup plan. That's about it for us tonight. We are going to enjoy the fire, enjoy the evening. I have a book on my phone that I'm going to work on reading. Derek is walking the dogs around. They are very much enjoying both sniffing around the campsite and the creek. So that's it for us tonight, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning. It is a perfect morning out here in Cherokee National Forest. It is so quiet. The sun is coming up through the trees. We have coffee. We had an uneventful, quiet, and peaceful night, and now Derek is going to try and get the steering stabilizer back installed. I have to do some prep for this afternoon's D&D session, so I did download the resources I need offline onto my laptop. So I'm going to work on planning that session while Derek works on the truck, and then pack up and move out. The low for the night was high 40s, I think probably 48, 49. We did not end up running our propane heater. We had a couple extra blankets, and even with having some windows and vents open until after midnight, the temp in the RV only got to about 61 degrees. Still very temperate, very comfortable overnight. Our jackery worked like a dream. It ran Derek's fan all night long. It was down to below 90% before we started the night from charging phones, cameras, stuff like that. And even after running the fan all night, it's still at about 14%, so I have plenty left over to top up my camera battery before we leave. All that is left to do is to finish packing up the interior. Unfortunately, the threads on the steering stabilizer are too mangled for it to screw back into the receptacle. So I'll definitely update you guys when I get with e-trailer. Hopefully they're going to be able to send us a replacement part. I'll definitely update you guys if we figure out exactly what went wrong, and how we're gonna fix it and move forward. But for now, I'm Silver, this is the USS Overlander, and this has been us boondocking, except a lot of things went wrong and then we didn't completely boondock as planned. We kind of boondocked. Our next adventure is going to be my birthday camping weekend at one of the most beautiful state parks in Tennessee. I'm very excited to share that with you, and I'll see you guys in the next adventure.